forecast, okay, using a conservative approach in terms of property values and things like that. And under these, now again, we've a lot of that money with both the CARES Act and the American Rescue Plan dollars, of which we're going to have to bring that to you at a later time. A lot of those associated impacts, we can fund ourselves back. Things that we've expended reserves out of, we can reimburse ourselves out of that. That goes into this overall model. But a lot of the impacts of the health department, we've been able to use other funding sources to be able to do that. But under these projections, we're still good, and we still are above all of our financial projections in terms of reserve levels 5 years out.
Commissioner Long.
Yes, and as I have shared with you, Barry, I am really struggling with that rollback business simply because of a couple things which I feel compelled to share. We don't know what we don't know. The hurricane projections for our state have been revised from what they started out about 3-4 months ago till now, where they are projecting 20 storms in our area from now until we get done with this season in November. So we don't know whether we'll be in the spotlight or not. Secondly, with regard to sustainability and resiliency, I am aware that the new threat is the heat index that we are beginning to see all over the United States, and to the point where you may be aware Miami-Dade, the first place in the entire world, has hired a heat officer to study the index and the impact on our health, our economy, our transportation systems, simply because planes have not been able to take off out of certain airports because of the heat and the fact that it has shut my mic off. So, you know, these are really serious issues that we have got to keep our eyeball on. And like Commissioner Flowers said, I've only been involved since I have had the opportunity and the privilege to be an elected official, one capacity where we did a rollback on the millage, and let me assure you, it wasn't more than 2 years later where we really regretted it, because once you roll it back, it's very difficult to come back around and then ask for an increase.
Commissioner, I do understand that. I didn't, believe it or not, my goal coming into this budget was not to do a full rollback. I thought a reasonable amount would be to look at a cost of living versus a 6.58% rate and do something more along that lines. And especially looking at the impact on homeowners, because it's different if you're a new homeowner or a business compared to if you're under Save Your Homes. Okay, and so I didn't actually start going into it with that. I thought if we could do a partial rollback, that would be a decent amount. But if I look at our reserve levels and I look at those amounts and I look at that we're reducing our cost and opportunities to continue to do that, maybe I can't do that each year. But as I project out in 5 years, under any scenario, we still have healthy reserves. That's how I got to the fact that, you know, maybe it's only this 1 year, but it's this year that we really can do it. And I thought compelled to put it out on the table and have that discussion.
No, I just want to say, considering the points that you just made, I don't think it's a good idea. You know, we know that putting the gas, you're talking about a rollback rate at the same time you're talking about a gas tax, number one.
Yep.
Number two, on top of that, we know, Barry, that the gas tax is a Band-Aid. It's not the solution to the problems with our